Welcome back to another video. So on this video, we're going to do a lot of things. We're going to go ahead and remove the valve covers, get those painted by the homie Odie. Then we're going to move the cam angle sensor, spray that black. We're going to go ahead and paint that J-pipe black as well. We're also going to go ahead and swap the spark plugs. I got something coming for that valve cover and that cam cover. So we're going to go ahead and do some stuff with that. Pretty much this whole engine bay is going to look completely different by the end of this video. We still got so much more to do to the engine bay. But for now, we're going to try to do as best as we can to get it looking good, at least for the show. So much things to do and so little time. Not enough battery on my camera, so I'm going to try my best to record everything. But I don't think I'm going to record the process of removing the J-pipe and all the lines, etc., just to get these valve covers off. With that being said, let's get to it. So we just got the valve covers back from powder coating and we decided to go Bayside blue. I feel like it's just going to pop with the engine bay, and of course there's more that I'm going to do to the spark plug cover and to the cam cover, so just wait on that. Hopefully I get them in time before the show, before Fuel Fest, before June 1st, so I could get that done. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and install them back in the car. We got some new valve cover gaskets. We got the little half moon seals for the back of the motor. Before we install these, we got to go ahead and use some red RTV silicone on the part where these half moon seals go on the actual engine. We're going to go ahead and clean that up, add the RTV silicone, install these, and then go ahead and install these onto the valve covers, and then go ahead and put the valve covers in, bolt them down. So we also got some new hardware for the valve covers, 20 bolts and 20 beauty washers. We got them in a satin gunmetal color. I'm going to use this red RTV gasket maker to put on the half moon seals. So this is what we will be using. I've had this for quite a bit. I've used this on some other stuff that I've done before in the past. So we're going to go ahead and use this one. The way you're supposed to use that red gasket maker is you're supposed to put, in this case, we're putting it on the half moon seals. I was going to put it onto the actual engine, but it was kind of hard to get the RTV silicone in there. So I just put it onto the half moon seals, press them down. I'm gonna set these valve covers over it, put the bolts in, wait an hour, and then go ahead and tighten down the bolts as per directions of the RTV silicone. After 24 hours, then I can go ahead and add the oil onto the car. Oil change either way. I got the half moon seals in. I'm just going to clean up the top of them real quick, and then I'm going to go ahead and install the new gaskets onto the valve covers. After I do that, I'm going to go ahead and install the valve cover. So with that being said, let's get to it. So next step to do with these valve covers is put them onto the engine, put the bolts on, and just tighten them down just a tiny bit. Once an hour passes, then we're going to go ahead and really tighten them all down, and we should be good to go. We should have no leaks. So I'm also going to replace spark plugs on the R34 while I'm at it. So I'm going with the Laser Platinum Premium NGK spark plugs. Here is the part number for those, so you can see that. And these were the old ones that were in there. Here is the part number for the old ones, which is a BK R6EIX-11P. It's kind of hard to see. This camera sucks at focusing. So on these Laser Platinum Premium NGK spark plugs, they come pre-gapped to 0.44, also known as 1.1 millimeter, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just going to check the gap on these before I put these on. These actually didn't look too bad, but I'm replacing them anyways, just in case, because you never know. The camera's low battery, so I'm not going to record it. I mean, it's just pretty simple. Just remove them one by one and install the new one as you go along. I got the Heat Range 6 spark plugs. They have the Heat Range 5. So I believe the Heat Range 5 is for stock. The Heat Range 6 is for cars slightly modified with like exhaust, air filter, etc. So I went with the Heat Range 6. So I'm going to go ahead and do the oil change on the R34. So we're going to run some Moto 8100 power 5W40 on the RB25 DT along with this pit work oil filter here. The part number is AY100NS005, so that is the part number for this oil filter here, and this is the pit work oil filter. And I actually had this sitting for a while. This was actually for the R32. I had purchased a couple when I had the R32, and luckily for me I still have it, so I don't have to buy another one. I'll probably order 2 more just in case, just to have on the side for the next oil changes. And I also ordered this Gretty drain plug here. We got the sick oil filler from Dark Additives. It's actually 3D printed. You just screw this thing on where the oil cap goes. Let me just open this up for you. Hands for this. There we go. Also carry different colors if you want to check them out. Once you screw it on, it's going to stay in place. It's not going to shift like a regular oil funnel. You don't have to worry about this thing moving around and spilling your oil. Another good thing about this is that it's designed to fill up quick. So you know, when you pour the oil in pretty quick, it'll like start filling up, and then eventually if you fill it up too much, it's going to spill. Well, not with this one. This one you could fill it up quick and the oil's going to flow down super quick, so you don't have to worry about that. So now that we got the Gretty magnetic oil drain plug installed, we got the new oil filter installed. Pain to get off, so I had to stick a screwdriver through the oil filter and spin it out. It was a pain to remove. I tried the sandpaper method. I tried everything, and that's the only thing that worked. I don't have the tool to remove it. Just remove this Nismo cap, which I have already done, and we're gonna go ahead and screw in the Dark Additive funnel. So we're just gonna go ahead and screw this on. It's gonna feel like it's not screwing in at first, and then bam. All right, so look, it's screwed on. It's not going anywhere. It's solid on there. So now I'm gonna put you guys on a time lapse, and I'm gonna pour that oil, and you guys will see that I'm just gonna pretty much dump it all, and it's gonna flow in there pretty fast. So with that being said, let's get to it. As you guys saw, we poured in the Multo 8100 power oil. This Dark Additive funnel worked amazing. I don't know if you guys noticed in the time lapse, I flipped the can pretty much upside down and the oil just went straight in. I mean, it filled up maybe like right here, and then it just went like boom, straight in. And after that, it didn't fill up anymore. It just, the oil was just flowing in there, not building up as it would on a regular funnel. Man, this thing works like it's on there. You don't have to hold it while you pour the oil. Man, this thing is a lifesaver. So huge shout out to Dark Additives for that. So now that we did the oil change, the spark plugs are also on. Next step, I'm just going to go ahead and put all this stuff back together. After we put all that back together, we're going to go ahead and install the HKS blow-off valve. So I ended up getting this battery tie down from Amazon, and I did something to it. I added some carbon to the bottom side, and now it looks a million times better. I'm gonna install this battery tie down, and it would be pretty simple just to install it bolted down to the battery, but I do have a problem. These are way too long to install directly to the battery. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna go ahead and install it as if I were to install it normal. Then I'm gonna go ahead and mark where I need to cut, remove the whole thing, put it on the vise, cut it off, and then go ahead and install these. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get to that. We're gonna go ahead and swap out the OEM blow-off valve for this HKS Super SQV 4 blow-off valve. So we got the blow-off valve here. We got this cover, because on the R34 GTT there is a hose that goes to this section here on the blow-off valve, and it goes all the way down there. Unfortunately, mine does not have it. So if yours does have it, you're going to disconnect it and connect this to the pipe down here just like that, and then you're going to go ahead and clamp it down with the clamp that was provided. Mine is already blocked off, so I do not need this part, so we're not going to use this. This is only we have it. And the instructions are here. They do have them in English as well. So as you can see, and it has this section right here. You'll remove this section, and then you'll go ahead and install this onto that pipe, and then you'll just clamp it down. But we don't have that, so we don't need that. We don't need this clamp either, but we'll save that just in case. And I have the recirculating kit here as well, but I won't be needing this as of now, so I'll just set that aside. But we'll be using this hose right here, and then this little filter adapter thing we have here. I'll show you guys exactly how everything goes. Also got this Nismo radiator cap. This is an easy swap. Actually, let's just go ahead and swap this thing out right now. All right, the Nismo cap is on. Now we're gonna go ahead and install the HKS blow-off valve. I'm so excited to hear this. But before we install this, obviously we have to remove the old one. And the way we remove the old one is two 12 mil bolts, one up here, one below down here. and we're gonna remove this hose here. So I'll tell you guys what we're gonna do with this hose that we removed from here. So for now, let's just set it aside. I'm gonna bolt up the HKS one, and I'll get back to you guys in a bit. And I'm pretty sure you guys have heard my car, if you guys watch my videos, make that infamous fluttering sound, and that is because they blocked this plate off right here with the soda can, and I'll show you guys that in a bit. I've heard it's bad for the turbo, but I'm not 1000% sure, but I'm just gonna go ahead and remove it. I'll show you guys once I remove this. I am missing the gasket for this section here, so I'm gonna go ahead and order a gasket for that. In the meantime, I'm just gonna go ahead and install it. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and remove that, and I'll get back to you guys once that's done. The HKS blow valve is now completely installed. So we got the two 12mm bolts in, and we ended up cutting that hose as I showed you earlier shorter, and we got the filter in between here, and then we got the new hose running directly to the blow off valve. I have a zip tie there, two zip ties on the thicker hose, and then I have another zip tie up here on the line that connects to the blow off valve. This engine is starting to really come together. I'm still going to do more to this area and over there and maybe over here, but eventually I will get to it. For now, the HKS blow valve is installed. Now it's time to turn on the car and show you guys what this thing sounds like. But before we do that, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the old one. So here we have the old blow off valve. And so what they did with the old blow off valve, they cut off a can of Pepsi to that shape, blocked off the blow off valve. So when they do that, there's no air that comes out of the blow valve, so it just goes back into the car and comes out of the, I believe, the turbo and the air filter, if I'm not mistaken. That's what makes that flutter sound. So yeah, with that being said, this is gonna be removed for now. Figure that out later. For now, we're just gonna leave it as is. You guys can hear the actual HKS blow valve sound. Let's go ahead, get the car off of jacks, turn on the car, and show you guys what this blow valve sounds like. But it looks insane. It completes the engine. Just how it looks in the engine is pretty sick. I thought it was gonna be bulkier, bigger, but it's actually like the perfect size. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I like it. I don't know if you guys will. That being said, let's go ahead and show you guys what this blow valve sounds like.
And zoom it in so when you're like backing out,
So before we end the video, I wanted to give you guys a quick update. I didn't end up showing you guys this in the video, so I wanted to show you guys what this battery tie down looks like. And it came with these little rubber pieces you throw over, so I put those on as well, and I believe it came out pretty good. It doesn't hit on the hood, so that's good. I also painted the cam angle sensor black, as you can see here. It looks much better than the silver it had before. One more thing, I ended up getting some vibrant couplers for these pipes right here, and I feel like that just ties in the Bayside blue on the valve covers. I don't know, I just feel like this engine bay is coming together. I didn't explain it in the video earlier, but I did end up painting that J pipe black as well. I feel like that makes this engine look that much better, and it matches the ones that were already black that lead to the intercooler. At one point I need to get rid of that and then do a front facing plenum, but for now this is gonna work. And I was gonna paint that black, but then it would have looked weird with the silver down here. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this section right here. I just feel like I just need to clean it up real good and it'll look a little bit better. Yeah, I need to get someone to come detail this engine bay because it's like really dirty. I don't trust myself doing it. I don't want to ruin any electronics with water, any of that. So I'm gonna have someone that knows what they're doing come do it. Do not want to take that risk before the show. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. At Range, peace.